Blockchain has been touted as the technology that will transform many sectors, starting with the financial industry, especially with the increase in the value of cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin and Ethereum. The technology supports decentralized digital currency through a peer-to-peer validation process. On Tech Trends this week, Obinna Iwono, President of Stakeholders in Blockchain Technology Association of Nigeria, joins me to discuss Nigeria's cashless economy, the adoption of the E-Naira, as well as the impact of blockchain technology on industries.
It's a yes and no answer. Cash is still king because there is still a lot of unbanked population in Nigeria. You find out that the majority of the people who are affected are those who are unbanked, those who are in the rural areas. How do you buy your tomatoes from Mama Nkechi in the market? By doing a transfer to her, right? So these are the issues. So on this note, cash is still king. But on the other note, cash is still not king because I would say for myself, in the past 2 weeks, I haven't used up to 10,000 Naira in cash to do anything, right? So I have a few cash with me that is not even up to 10,000, and I've been having it for more than 2 weeks now, because I live in an area where I could literally do almost everything I want cashless. I could use a POS, I could do a bank transfer, I could use the USSD code. But this is not the situation in the whole country. So it's a yes and no answer.
Let's now take this conversation to Nigeria's digital currency, which is the E-Naira. Now, many economists are of the opinion that the E-Naira's purpose of a cashless economy is yet to be fulfilled. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I would say that is true because, for example, I haven't used the E-Naira. I haven't seen an integration with my bank. I haven't seen point of pay service center where I could use the E-Naira. So there has been no adoption yet. In fact, if you ask me, like other Nigerians, I would still ask you, does the E-Naira really exist? Because I'm not aware. I've not had any reason to use it. I've not had any reason to be stopped from carrying out this transaction because of my inability to possess or access E-Naira. All right. So I would say that the adoption of E-Naira is almost at zero, right? Because if there is no widespread usage, if it is not replacing the financial payments systems and structures that we have, if it is not being accepted by merchants, and businesses alike, then there is no adoption going to happen. So the E-Naira could as well as be an existence in papers and maybe on the internet, but no real use.
Now, could the slow adoption of the E-Naira be a sign that the government has not been inclusive enough in its pursuit of a cashless economy?
I think that the government is not taking the right steps if it is about the E-Naira. And then, of course, in the cashless economy also, because if you want to run a cashless economy, what have you done to address the issues of those who could not access banking services, right? So, for example, in areas, in rural communities where there are no banks, no internet service, right? And you want to run a cashless community or cashless economy, are those ones going to be running on cash? If they're not going to be running on cash, what measures has been put in place? Even payment solutions as minute as mobile money is non-existent in this country. Of course, we know that majority of the people who are in rural areas possess a mobile phone, all right? And they have mobile phone numbers. And we do not have mobile money in operation in Nigeria. So how are those people going to be a part of the cashless society? So they will still have to be constrained to using cash for everything that they want to do. And you cannot now say that we are running a cashless society whereby there is a percentage of your population that still have to operate on cash. All right. So I think that what the government needs to do is to address the problem of infrastructure when it comes to payment solutions, and also address the challenges of financial inclusion. Get more people access to banking services. Make internet connectivity available all around the nation, because almost everything that man has to do today, at least 90% of man's activity today, has to involve the internet. And if we do not have access to the internet, how are we going to successfully roll out a cashless policy and implement it? So these are the issues.
To blockchain technology, which is your area of expertise, some tech experts say that it has the potential to revolutionize sectors. What impact will it have on Nigeria's digital economy?
Well, Nigeria's digital economy can get better by over 60% if we begin to implement blockchain technology across sectors. The blockchain technology is the third generation internet. And this is the internet that allows you to transmit and transfer value. And so it means that you could hold a lot of digital assets and value on the internet without any fear of compromise, right? We are in an election period. Imagine if our electoral structure is built on a blockchain technology. We wouldn't have any issues for all of these controversies that keep rising up every day. If our voters' registration process was on the blockchain technology, we wouldn't have any issues of double registration, invalid voters. You don't find your polling unit and stuff like that. In 2021, in 2020 rather, NIDA engaged stakeholders in the blockchain industry in a workshop to develop a blockchain framework for the federal government for the adoption of blockchain technology. And the aim of the federal government was to raise $6 billion from that. That is a clear indication that this is an economic mover. And so the question remains, what have we done with it? So far, the only sector that is utilizing blockchain technology is the financial sector. And because of the financial use case of blockchain, which is cryptocurrency, is the most famous at the moment. But people need to understand that blockchain technology is not cryptocurrency. All right? Cryptocurrency is built on blockchain technology. It means that there is a lot that blockchain can be done with. Blockchain is like a bakery, and cryptocurrency is like one of the products that come out of this bakery. So it would rapidly enhance the growth of our technology sector if we adopt blockchain massively across the nation. Just like India has done in tech, Nigeria can do the same with the implementation and adoption of blockchain technology in our digital space. And so we have a lot to gain by doing that.
Let me take you back to the National Blockchain Adoption Strategy you just mentioned, which was published by the National Information Technology Development Agency, NITDA. How effective is it in addressing key issues and challenges?
Well, there is that strategy, but the adoption is another thing, right? Because as it is right now, we do not yet have a proper definition of the blockchain industry. There is no regulatory standards or policy that has been enacted by the Nigerian legislature, nor signed by the executive concerning blockchain technology, right? So while there exists a strategy, a framework for this thing, but there has been no execution or implementation as yet. Because if there has been an execution and implementation, we are going to see the effect across board. And so the absence of that kind of effect shows clearly that this framework is still sitting there and waiting to be executed. And the truth is that what is contained in that framework is beautiful. It's going to be of immense benefit to the Nigerian economy because a thorough work was done on that. But we are yet to see an implementation of that. And that is why you are yet to see a widespread of blockchain adoption in Nigeria. By now, blockchain technology should be a course taught in our schools, in our universities. We should have blockchain clubs in every secondary school in Nigeria. There should now be books and textbooks on blockchain technology, constantly updated with the continuous improvements that is happening in the industry. There should be a widespread of blockchain hubs and incubation centers across the country. There should be massive generation of revenue from the blockchain sector. Because if you look at the top 10 global organizations in the world today, 6 to 7 of them are in tech. That means there is a massive benefit that awaits us if we adopt that framework and strategy, as has been finely put and worked on by industry stakeholders. So it's a fine piece of document with a lot of benefits for the industry, but it is still waiting execution. But the question is, will the government act on this?
Well, we hope that they definitely do act on it. Well, thank you so much, Obinna, for taking time to share your thoughts with us on Tech Trends.
Thank you so much, Yemi, for having me.